but we can't not talk about the other team out here, the Padres. You know, it looked like they had a chance to stay in it tonight. Weren't able to hold on, obviously. So we got to talk about our next topic, number 7. What's next for the San Diego Padres?
Yeah, I think that's a very fair question because I don't think many people expected them to get to the NLCS this year. But is this a team that's built for the future, or is it a team that went all in on 1 year? And I would argue that it's a team that is built for the future because, look, they got Juan Soto. They have him for next year, and then they have him for a little while. So that's a good benefit. We saw how valuable he was here in this NLCS. Again, back-to-back days with a home run. He looked great. He had that homer today that he pimped, and it was absolutely crushed, and that was sick. So I think this team is set up well for success. You have some good players. You trade for Josh Hader. Like, there's a lot of things that they need to still do. But one thing that's easy to forget is Fernando Tatis, who wasn't here due to his suspension. But one fact here that I think is interesting, and a lot of people might not know, every single game that they were playing here in the playoffs was a game taken off of his suspension.
That's crazy.
The longer they went on, the shorter his suspension got for next season. So that ends up getting taken off about 10-plus games. You know, that's a big deal. So when I think what's next for the Padres, I think take some time to appreciate this season and where you got and to be upset that it ended the way it did. And then focus on the future. Now look at what this team has the possibility of being. Fernando Tatis at shortstop or wherever they want to put him. Manny Machado at third base, who, by the way, Manny Machado this postseason
was great.
He became a Padre hero. I mean, he was great. If the Padres end up winning this series, we're talking about Manny Machado as we're talking about Bryce Harper. Look, this guy's a superstar. He got paid all of this money, but what was his moment? This was his moment. We're not talking about it as much because they didn't win the series, but we should remember how good Manny Machado was for this team against the Mets, against the Dodgers, and against the Phillies.
Now, I know you brought up Tatis Jr., and there was a lot of conversation online of would they have been able to win more games in this series if he was here. But my argument, you can't even go there because who knows if the Padres would even be here in this moment if he was with the team, because the chemistry that they had towards the end of the season just to get here is something you can't match, and you can't say woulda, coulda, shoulda, because in those moments they had exactly who they needed to have. Now, it will be interesting to see if he can get back to his I don't know, all-star style form once he comes back mid-season after having an embarrassing moment, getting suspended for the reason he got suspended. So this is all going to be interesting for the Padres to see if they can come together, if he can give them that final boost that they need to go further into the postseason next year.
I completely agree with your point, Alex. Look, you can't say, just imagine if the Padres had Fernando Tatis in this series. That's not how baseball works. No. That's not how locker rooms work. That's not how life works. One, if you want to step back a few months, we don't even know. They might not have even made the trade for Juan Soto if it wasn't for Tatis. The timing ended up being, they probably knew about Tatis when they made that trade for Soto. So maybe they don't even make that trade. Maybe this team looks nothing like it would if Tatis was on the team. Aside from that, we saw last year in the dugout, him and Manny Machado had some things going on. Look, all in all, this Padres team did what they did this year without Fernando Tatis from the word go. He had that. You mentioned an embarrassing moment with the steroid thing. This was an embarrassing year for him. And I hope Fernando Tatis looks in the mirror and grows up a little bit, to be honest with you. The motorcycle accident in the offseason, the steroids. Look, you're a superstar in the game of baseball, and many people, including myself, were calling you the face of baseball last year. The future of baseball, a face of the game of baseball, and the game deserves better. Your teammates deserve better, and you and your career deserve better than that. So I hope we see Fernando Tatis grow up a little bit, learn from his mistakes, and get back out on the field and be the MVP-type player that he is.
Yeah, you said it right there. I mean, he was in the MVP conversation last year, and then I don't know how you go from such a high season to probably the lowest season he'll ever have in his career.
I think it's easy to forget how young he is.
Yeah.
And it's easy to forget until
and how
this
much
year.
money he got too.
Absolutely. So
that affects it.
He makes all of that money, and he's still so young, and we saw that come out. I remember people saying last year when he was in the midst of that MVP type season of, it's so easy to forget how young he is. Well, he reminded us of that in the offseason and this season. People make mistakes.
Yep.
That happens. You have to learn from them and move on, and I hope Fernando Tatis learns from his mistakes and gets back on the field where he brings all of us so much entertainment.
Yeah, so much joy.